G'day team, welcome to another video. Today we're going to go through stairs. So stairs are all too easy to draw wrong, and if you draw them wrong, it can be pretty bad. But I don't want to freak you out too much because they're easy enough to draw normally. So there's two main ways to draw stairs. There's going to be just your standard run, landing. I'll call this the automatic method, right? The other way that I'm going to get into is kind of like custom stairs, which is like creating a sketch and manually drawing the boundaries and the rises and the run in. There's a couple of tools like an L-shaped winder. They don't really work with the Australian construction standards a lot of the time, because it will throw like a corner of a tread into something that's not the corner, and they tend to look really gross. So I generally will just do a straight run of stairs using like the automatic method, or I'll draw them in custom. So the first thing you want to do when you draw any kind of stairs is you want to set the base level and the top level. So that's super, super important. It really should just be as simple as, say, if we're drawing a set of stairs between ground floor and upper floor in a job. So the base level will be GFL and the top level will be UFL for upper floor. So that's going to give us 17, 17 rises, and their riser height of 180 and depth of 250, which is perfect. And then that should just be a case of just clicking and clicking, and then it's done. That is about as easy as it gets. There's a few little things that you need to know about stairs, especially in Australia, but I'm sure everywhere else in the world has their standards when it comes to stairs. So in Australia, there's a rule called 2R plus G. I'll put an image of that up on the screen at some point. And another thing to know is that you can't have 18 treads or rises in a row without a landing. So if this was any higher, we'd need to have a landing in the middle. The minimum depth of a landing is 750 mil. Circling back to that 2R plus G rule, I try and simplify it by all of my treads are 250 mil deep, and all of my rises are as close to 180 as I can get. So, if you're trying to work out the difference between, 3060 difference between upper floor level and ground floor level, divide 3060 by 180, and then whatever number that's close to will be the desired number of treads and rises that you need. But that's for the easy method. So if we were to have a look in this, and that's a hectic railing, disregard that. So I've drawn this in on the upper floor plan. When you're actually cutting a hole in the floor for the stairs, I like to go through and just cut a hole. Some people use like a vertical opening or like a void or something, but yeah, I just cut a hole. Is it the best way? Maybe not. Something else that's a very, very good habit to get into when drawing stairs is, from your plan or wherever you've drawn them, go section box. And then that is going to show you if you're actually making the height or not. Because sometimes a little dialog box will pop up and it'll say, oh, you've exceeded such and such rises, or hasn't met the level or something. This is just a way of double checking and just reassuring yourself that it actually does meet the height requirement that it needs to. Let's get back into doing a custom stair. So same deal with a custom stair. In this screen, the first thing you want to do is go base level, GFL, top level. We'll change that to UFL. Very important, because if you don't do that and then you draw the stairs, You can edit them after you've drawn them, but I just delete it and start again. They don't take that long to draw, but they take a long time and they're very fiddly to edit. So if anything ever changes with my stairs, they're gone pretty quickly, and I'm just going to draw them again. Okay, so we've got our levels set up. We're happy with all of that. Now we're going to click on this little Mr. Squiggle button here, create sketch. Okay, these three boxes here, they are the, what would you call it? They're like the puzzle pieces for this to work. You need to define the boundary, you need to define the risers, and then you connect the bottom and the top of the stairs with a stair path. So let's draw in, let's do like a dog leg set of stairs here. So we're going to go boundary, like so. Stairs are generally 1,000 mil wide. And treads, as I just mentioned, will be 250. So let's kind of start here. Use the offset tool. Okay, so say this is the bottom of the stairs. We've got a bit of a run up here, and then we'll use the mirror tool on the diagonal to, oh, I hate it when I do that. Mirror tool on the diagonal, but remember to press copy like a professional, and then we can continue our run. So this is where, back to what I was saying a second ago, with the automatic stairs, it's automatically just going to put them in. But when we're drawing them in here, it can get a bit funny with trying to count them. So let's go. Cool, 17. So we've got 4 there, got 5 there. We've got a few more to go yet. And it will double check this with you when you get to the stair path point. Okay, so now we go stair path because that's creates. Okay, so just to kind of explain this a little bit better, the green lines are the boundary lines, and we can see there that we hadn't connected that. And the black lines are the treads. So you want to check that they're all 250 because stair construction does matter, in fact. And then we'll go stair path. We'll start it at the bottom here. We'll go there. We'll draw it across at the 45 here. Okay. So there's normally a little thingy that pops up saying that we've got, 17 treads or how many risers, or we're missing some. So we've got 16 there. So we could, a couple of options. You generally want stairs to be pretty symmetrical. So we don't want to go and put there it is. It's like hidden behind the wall there. So let's keep zooming out. Yeah, see, it's like 15 risers created, 2 remaining. So good to know. You want your stairs to be symmetrical. You don't want them to have like, a riser in the corner of the landing there, but not one here. So if you have the freedom, it'll be much better to move this across 250 and then put another riser in there. I'll tell you as well, I won't actually draw them in, but I'll just demonstrate with putting winders on landings. So those what would you call it? Like an angled step on a landing is called a winder because it's kind of winding the corner. The angle that you want to draw them in at, you want it to be, where's a good example? So I make it, see how it says 60 degrees there? So I'm gonna make it 60 degrees, and then I'm gonna do the same thing to the other corner. So that's gonna be 30 degrees. So we've got 30 degrees, we've got 60 degrees, because that would be, obviously this is 0, this is 90, so 0, 30, 60, 90, that's good. Or if you're just putting the 1 in, that's going to be at the 45, like that. You can't have more than 2 either, because that's just gross. Okay, so let's see how this is going. I think we might be one short, but there's only one way to find out. So let's go finish stairs. Actually, we might be okay. Go okay. Of course, I've got that heinous railing applied still, because I'm an idiot. Okay, so that looks good to me. We've got 1 tread going down there. That's looking all good here. I think that is a pretty good construction. You can change the type of stair, depending on what you've got in your template at any time. This is just one that we've got in our office, but it might not look the same as what you're working with at your end. But the point is that the stairs have to meet the requirements set by whatever country you're in. There's going to be some rules around how many stairs you can have in a run, how high the rises can be. There's a bunch of stuff, but they're not too complicated. But you have to make sure that you do follow the rules, because if you don't, then you're going to get a builder ringing you about the fact that the stairs that you drew don't actually connect the levels, and that's bad. That's really bad. I will additionally note, if you realize the area of your ways, and so we drew this, that this was the bottom, right? But say this wanted to be the bottom, you don't have to redraw the stairs. There's a little flip button up here. So go flip, okay, and now those stairs have flipped themselves. Pretty good. I think that's it. That pretty much covers it. There's probably a couple more things. I could honestly talk about the rules around the stairs a lot longer, but they don't tend to matter too much. Oh, okay, yeah, one more thing. We could have drawn this staircase using the automatic method quite easily. So it's when I have to put some winders in. That's when, say I had to put that in. Revit's really not good at that kind of stair configuration. It might be. I'm not sure how it works, and I've never had any luck with it. So if I'm putting winders in, I'll do a custom. But if we were to redraw this using the automatic method, you'd kind of go 3, and then you want to. We know these are 1,000 wide, so if we make the center line here 500, that's cool. Okay, so you see the problem with what I've done here is I'm just going from upper floor level to Y, but the point is when you do one run and then another, it's going to automatically generate a landing, which is really handy. When you're editing the stairs and first drawing them, you can move them around a fair bit. Like Revit's pretty good with that, but try and keep them as it's kind of like a zero-sum game. You don't want there to be too much of like this nonsense going on with stairs. Just draw it in the corner, because nobody's got time for that madness. Yeah. If you're drawing runs, it automatically is going to put a landing in between them, which is good to know. But if you had to put some winders in there and to really like get as many stairs as possible between the levels, then that's where you really want to draw the custom stairs, as I call them. But yeah, that's the gist of it. As always, thank you very much for watching. I hope you got something out of this, and I'll talk to you all soon. Cheers.